The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Maurice Media Studios, MauriceMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
You know, sometimes you just need a breath of fresh air, man, you understand? You know, motherfuckers still hyphy and all that shit, man. You know, we get ratchet, you know, we turn up, you understand me? But sometimes you just need a breath of fresh air away from all that shit, man, you feel me? Listen up.
A breath of fresh air.
That's right, a breath of fresh air, man, you know, just to break the monotony.
A breath of fresh air, yeah.
Well, welcome back to Conversation with Faye Lewis and Second Call. I'm excited to be back today. It's been a long week already and it's just Wednesday, but welcome back. Call someone, tell them to stream in, look on Facebook, MauriceMedia.com, or you can go onto my page, Faye Lewis, and look at us while we're streaming live. Or if you want to call in and have some words to say about what our conversation is going to be about today, you could call in live at 323-293-3375. Hello and welcome back. Today as my guest, I have Mr. Maurice. How you doing, Maurice? Excellent. This is a young man. I love Maurice. He always has a great smile on his face. So how's your week going?
Everything going good. I got paid today.
Whoa.
Legal money.
Yeah, that's what a career will do for you. So if you had one word to describe how you feel today, what would that word be?
Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah, if you got a big paycheck and it ain't all going out, that's excellent.
Yeah, one of my non-bill paying checks.
Non-bill?
Yeah, so ain't nothing coming on my check this week.
Ooh, you come a long way, huh?
Yes,
Well, that's good to hear. So we're going to hear more from Maurice. He's part of the Wolf Pack. Second Call, and as I said, we'll be having different guys and different women come on the show that's actually attends our meeting and been with us for years, where they come from a past. Now they're working, they have careers, and they have plenty overtime, but they're part of the Wolf Pack that's working on helping rebuild LA. So before we get started, I have a couple of announcements I want to make. Just some things I heard in the news, and then if you have an opinion on that, Maurice, even just let me know, step right in. But yesterday I was listening to the news, and I was saying that there's a lot going on in our world today. You know, we have politics and we have the voting coming up. And we really want to talk to everyone, to encourage you, to encourage someone that we have to really vote. People in our community are not getting out voting. So we're hoping that everyone gets registered. If you know someone 18, make sure they say this election is so important, especially in our Black African American neighborhoods. So I'm saying that, and I can't stress the point enough to say how important it is for you to go out and vote. Register and then vote, because we have a lot of props. One of the props that we really have is Prop 10, and that one I'm going to be bringing more information. Next week we're going to bring information on each of the propositions that's set before us, so you'll know when you go to vote what each one stands for, because some of them are deceiving. And so we definitely want to get you up on, so you'll have knowledge when you do go mark that X. What are you marking it for, and what are we expecting? And a lot of people say it does not make sense. It doesn't make sense to vote because they're going to do what they want to do, but it does make sense. It definitely does. If you don't vote, that means that the next person is winning either way. So at least your vote can stop that person from winning. But if you don't do anything, you just settling for whatever happens, and then you're going to be saying, look at our world, but you never helped try to change it. And one of the ways we know we found out is that we're able to change with our votes. So, and also another thing that was very disturbing to me, I saw on the news yesterday where a young man was in Florida. I can't remember what state, what city, but in Florida. I think it was Hollywood, Florida. And he was in a gun store. He was in a gun store and he stole something. He stole an axe, and the owner was in the store. He saw this man through a camera stick something in his pants. And so the owner went and got a gun. This just happened like a couple of days ago, a day ago. And so as the man is getting ready to leave the store, the owner's trying to hold him in. The man never fights with the owner. He's trying to get out of the door. He doesn't have an axe in his hand. He's trying to get out the door. And the owner just took his gun out and shot him. Right there, I mean, like in the doorway. And so they were asking, do you think that this man overreacted? Should he be prosecuted? Now, I have my opinion. You have your opinion. My opinion is said he had no regards for human life. I mean, because he stole something out your store, was that going to have your store to close down? Was that going to be, you were going bankruptcy behind this one thing? I don't really get that, how you just shoot a person for stealing something out your store. And you know, that happened years ago to a young black African-American young lady, and we were very disturbed because the lady, the Asian lady didn't get any time. Now, this here doesn't matter because this does matter. This man was not black African American, but he still is human. So I think that the owner went too far. The man was no threat to you. So what do you think about that, Maurice?
I got word on it, but I didn't get too many details. I didn't see no videos or anything.
Uh-huh.
But that right there, it's the laws in the states to me, because I know there's different laws in different states, and I believe, was it Florida?
It was Florida, yeah.
That's when it was stand your ground laws.
Okay, but they also have the law that you can defend your property if the person is a threat to you.
Yeah.
So the man was no threat to him. The man, because they showed everything on the video, the man never had the axe out. The man had the axe, stuck somewhere. So just so happened the owner saw him do this on camera. So therefore he approached the man when the man was leaving. The man just kept doing this here, trying to leave. He never once swung at the owner or anything. So he was never a threat. So I don't know how much axes cost. I don't know. But I don't think, it was worth this man to lose his life. And he have a family, probably most likely was a father. Who knows, whatever it was, he was a human. And that was not going to have your reason for your store to close down.
Yeah. Now, me being in the system, knowing how we operate out here, okay, above the waist, that's attempted murder. Below the waist, that's assault with a deadly weapon, or assault with a firearm if it's done with a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you felt it was the need to do that, take the proper steps. If you don't follow the law, if you're thinking about the law first or the consequences, obviously he wasn't thinking about the consequences.
He wasn't thinking about the consequences because the video shows the owner doing something in the store, and he looked up at the cameras. So he was nowhere near the man. The camera shows the owner stopped doing what he was doing, went in the back. All this is on camera. He went in the back, got his pistol, and came out and waited for the man to leave out of the store. So therefore, that was to me, which, I'm not a lawyer, but that sounds like premeditated because you went and got your gun. He didn't have the gun on him already. So we'll see how this turns out. But that was very disturbing to me because there's so much going on in this world to people really don't have a regard for other people's lives. You can people get mad or angry and they're instantly just like from 1 to 10, and whatever happens, now you're suffering, So we're looking at the news. We have so many other things going on. But I also want to give a praise report. And my daughter just finished her last radiation, so she's cancer-free again. Woo! Yeah, she's been through chemo and radiation, and she went through a lot of radiation, but she's finished now. She had her last treatment, and she's doing good, so I thank God for that. So that lets me know that he's answering my prayers. So I want to give a shout-out to Renisha. Happy for you. So, okay, well, today, like I said, today is Maurice is with us, and like I say, Maurice is a part of the Wolf Pack. So, Maurice, can you just tell us a little bit about your background, where you come from, and how did you get involved with Second Call?
A third of my life I was incarcerated. I did 11 years, 6 on my first one, 5 on my second.
How old were you?
When I first went in, I was 18.
Okay, and you did?
Got out 25. Got out when I was 31. 30 actually, turning 31.
So what, that last time you did, you had rethinking or?
Nah, I stressed more on my second term than I did my first one, because my second term I was actually innocent. Everybody knew I was. My family and everyone knew that I was.
That you was innocent?
That I didn't do it. Everybody.
The second time?
My attorney, the judge, and everybody.
Yeah.
It did not make any sense.
Well, you know, sometimes, I'm just saying this here, because sometimes we be thinking, maybe you had to, I'm just saying, you know, because I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And I like to say things sometimes when you made it through, maybe that's with so much killing in our environments that some of us come from, that may have spared your life. It was a sad way to do it, but you kind of look like, you know, we don't always know what God's plans is. And sometimes things don't make sense to us. It doesn't make sense to us.
Yeah, that's true. No doubt about it. Incarceration, prison did save my life, and many other people that don't know about Second Call, because that's what we do, save lives. That's our motto. It did do that. Yes,
and it's a hard way to say it, and you can't really look at how it happened. We can't figure it out, because like we always say, I don't care how I talk, I have to always put God in it, because that's who I first reference when I wake up in the morning. And I go by, my conscience bothers me when I don't take time out to acknowledge Him. But in saying that, I have to say, looking at you now and where are you going and where have you been, and the smile on your face when you say how you're about your career, that makes me think that your plan wasn't his plan.
No, it wasn't.
Your plan wasn't his plan. No. And in saying that, I mean, because you came out and you're better. You're a better person. You know, because I met you. I met you when you first came to Second Call. I remember you. And I remember you were very angry.
Yeah.
You know, and not just so much, but you had your own reasons. But I remember you had a lot of family issues going on, you know, with your grandmother and all of that. And so when you watch a man grow, which I did, I saw so many, and I saw you grow to where I say that, you know, you're headed down the right track. So in the midst of you getting out, doing your time, and how did you hear about Second Call?
Through my Uncle David. He introduced me to John Harriel, you know, Big John, Second Call. He said, man, go down there and talk to him. He didn't mention nothing about no career or nothing. He said, man, you know, he can show you something. He can probably tell you better than I can, because he done been in places that you have. Y'all done been in the same places, and y'all want the same things in life. So that made me like, all right.
So how long have you been a part of the Wolfpack?
Since, let me see, when I got out, I'm going to say for like the last 7 years.
Okay, that's a long time. And you've been working ever since?
Ever since.
Ever since, yes. I'm excited because if everyone knows, you know, a part of Second Call is our attempt is to save lives. And every Thursday we meet at Abundant Life Church on 3500 Normandy Avenue, and that's 1 block before Jefferson. If you're going north on Normandy, right before you get to Jefferson, it's Exposition, the main street. Then going north, the next street would be Jefferson, and it's going to be on your right hand side. But we meet there every Thursday, 6 p.m. and encourage you to be on time. But Maurice, what were some of the things when you first started coming to Second Call? What were some of the things that you had to struggle with? And then, you know, being incarcerated, coming out, what were some of the things that was your struggle? Because we're hoping by you telling what you have to say, it may encourage another young man, you know, a young woman. You never know.
Socializing, communication.
You had a problem with that?
Things. money wouldn't. It ain't never been too much of an issue for me, but I just didn't want to get it in that kind of way anymore.
Right.
Then when I heard how people got careers, the key thing, you know, starting the foundation first, I'm like, okay, let me see what this really about right here. Then when I seen what it's really about, I'm like, oh, okay. And I was led by a righteous leader. He told me what to do, and I did it. Like, you know what? You ain't got no problem following instructions. Here you go. From there, I just hit the ground running.
And that's what I found out, that a lot of men and women, and just a lot of people in general, have a problem with. I know young people that are in their 20s, and they have a problem with authority and following directions. And some people think, to me, I call that, you know, they say you have to be a helper before you can be a leader. You know, you have to be under somebody, and you can be a billionaire, millionaire, own all your business, but there is someone as CEO or someone you have to answer to. So if you're 20-something and you're just starting, getting out, trying to get a career and rethinking the way we used to think, and what they call that, when you redo your mind.
Debugging.
What you call it?
That's what we call it, debugging.
Debugging?
Yeah.
So that's like relearning all over again. You know, because we learn so many ways how we like to do things and how we think it should be done. But the right way, we need instructions. That's like when you buy a toy or you even get a brand new automobile. Now you got to computerize you got to put in your phone number. You got to put all this stuff in the new technology in your car, your phone, all these apps and navigation. And if you don't know how to do it, you have to read instructions. So you have to get instructions. So you had to get instruction, and it wasn't a problem to you. That's the good thing.
No, it wasn't.
You know, because
I was cautious in the beginning because I don't like to listen to too many people because I don't trust too many. I always had trust issues because I was always misled by a lot of people. So I'm like, all right, let me see, check in. I started in at the back of the class, had to watch everybody coming in when I seen where everybody was coming from. So I'm like, okay, now I ain't got no problem having my back to the door because like our motto is, once you're here, you're physically safe and you're mentally safe.
Physically and mentally safe when you come to Second Call, yes. So I want you to encourage someone, if you know a young man or a young woman that's struggling with some life skill issues, anger management, so much dysfunction, can you invite them to come to Second Call? And I'm quite sure they will be truly blessed because, like I say, we always say every week, when we started Second Call, when John, Skip began to sit at the table, it was only like 6 of us. 6 of us. Now you can barely get in the room, and we have a huge room. But people are eager to come, and we've even had young men say when they didn't come, they fell off.
Yeah.
They made mistakes or they started going backwards, you know. And it's not like church. It's like anything in life, you have to reprogram yourself. You know, you have to reprogram yourself. Well, I'm used to staying up all night. Well, if you're going to get up at 4 and 5 in the morning for your job, your career, then you're not going to be able to stay up all night because you want to be able to function. And I can't function if I don't get sleep.
Anything you want, you can get. Well, anything I want, I can get because we speak in the eye.
Right.
Because I never thought that I would be in the employment position to get paid as much as I'm getting now.
Yes.
I went from making this many cents an hour to this many dollars an hour with benefits. And, you know, every 6 months I get my vacation. So,
whoa. I hope y'all heard him because he talks very low. But what he said...
especially when it comes to money, I speak real low.
It's very important that we do understand that. Tell us about even some of how once you went through, what was the process? Tell in case some man is listening and he want to know, okay, once I come down to Second Call, am I going to get to working today? I want to get a check tomorrow. Tell him kind of at the beginning what the process is like.
All right, man. How can I put it? Okay, man. Look at it like this. Let's be real.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to be me. I normally, when I get to speaking like this, I'm like, do I have to filter my language?
Okay. Just speak loud where we can hear you. Okay.
Yeah, that's always been the problem.
Okay. Because I love what you're saying. It's so interesting. Yeah.
No, see.
Okay.
That's basically her telling me I got to speak a little louder. No, first thing, man, this is not no job skills class. This ain't no job skills center. You ain't come here, oh, we going to send you somewhere. We going to form you, right, and place you in the right position. Whatever you want to do as far as in the construction trade, we can do that. Well, we got access at one, we know people. But there's other people that come in there also from all walks of life. This ain't just people that come from prison. Ones come from college. We got contractors. We got foremen. We got lawyers, attorneys, and a little bit of everybody coming there. Blacks, whites, Mexicans. We look out for everybody, man. That's why a lot of us get along. We see each other in certain places. Yeah, we're trying to knock each other's head off. But just giving that second chance at living life, which is what Second Call stands for.
Right.
You know, now we see each other on the job site, we look, you might pause and look, and everybody thinking it'd be a situation. We walk up to each other like, man, what's happening, man? You good? All right. See each other in traffic. What's up, G?
So some of the when you first went, some of the young men, they were put out on the trains, or they went to boot camp. So I'm saying, with the beginning, did you have to go to boot camp?
Yeah.
Everybody goes to boot camp.
Yeah. But before that, life skills, we're going to make sure you able to handle what you're going to have to deal with on the job site. That way you don't make, yourself and also us look bad. 'Cause when we send you out there, man, we send you out there. Everybody comes, send call, we all shine.
That's right. That's right.
First one on the job site, always.
And some of the things, like you said, before you even get to boot camp, we like you to go through the life skill classes, because like we always say, a lot of young men and women, they'll say, I'm ready to work. But as soon as you get at the job site, you don't like the way this person said something to you, or you went and you took some family issues to work with you. So the minute someone says something to you, you're snapping. And next thing you know, you're walking off the site. So they're trying to avoid that, because we all know when you come from a different world and fit it into another world, you got to learn the skills and what it takes to stay in that world.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, you can't leave from the hood and go to a work site and think you're going to just talk to people in a kind of way. People are going to talk to you in a kind of way, and you're going to throw your fists up, you ready to fight. They're not having that. Because once you leave there, you may not never get another job or career because of the actions that you took. You didn't go the appropriate way.
You weren't ready. It's like basically like the judicial system. Okay, you did so many years, like the 3 strikes law. Did so many years in prison. You got out. You didn't have the skills. You wasn't set to cope with the world. So you been from the streets. You wasn't set to deal with the work site. You run into one situation, man, okay, you weren't ready, so, send you back to the streets. You weren't ready for the world, send you back to prison.
And that's how it goes.
Out here.
That's how I work in our community.
That's where we come in at. We're the filter to debug you.
Right.
Everybody.
And that makes a lot of sense, because if you even just out here in the streets, okay, today before I got on the freeway to drive to LA, I was at the gas station. I seen a young man pumping his gas. I really didn't pay that much attention to him till I heard him hollering, but he was yelling, speaking to a young lady, and I just happened to look at him. And to me, there you go. I was stereotyping him. He was standing there. He was standing with his feet like this, like this.
Penguin style.
That stand, and then he had his pants. The waist of his pants was down below his butt. So his drawers, his whole waistline to the bottom of his butt was out. And he had a belt on. And that just threw me off, because I wanted to say something so bad, but something was saying, do not get involved. Don't say nothing. Don't. But I wanted to say something, because it was like, why would you come and pull, that's just me. Remember, we all got opinions. Yeah. Why would you come and pull your pants all the way down and then put a belt on them? So it kind of made me think where he came from. I don't know. This is what I was stereotyping him. His pants was down and he was standing a certain way. And then he walked over. I'm pumping gas. The lady's pumping gas next to me. And he said, yeah, the homie told me that he saw you over there. Woo, woo, woo. And the homie, yeah. But the way he was talking, it just like, oh, I sure wish I could tell him about second call. But I didn't approach him. I was on my way to the freeway. But I always want to tell a young man about second call. You know, when I see it, it looks like I say, it just looked like he wasn't there. But sometimes you never know if you just stop and drop a bug in somebody's ear. Like if you're ever looking for a career, not a job, call this number. You know, so maybe I'm going to do that. I'm going to get me some of the flyers and give it out. Because why I was saying that was that so now in order for, if this particular young man came in a second call, and it would be a process. Yeah. To get him to, you know, you don't have to wear your pants down there. I come from the old school, and the old school says when men wear their butt out, that means that they're saying that's available.
That's old school. They ain't even
dressing like that no more.
They ain't even in prison or nothing. That's pretty much washed up.
Yeah,
that's like a fashion trend nowadays. That's why when you first said it, I kind of started laughing like. That's cool, but they don't know the foundation of it. And, you know, the big saggy pants, they don't know the foundation of that. Why, you know, the slave owners had us, you know, these big baggy clothes. We didn't have enough maneuver room to run. I never was one to sag my pants because I didn't see people get punched real hard, you know, just because they had to pull their pants up first. So I'm like, no, I will never sag my pants again. I need them loose, so, you know, I'm going to make sure I keep my belt on to where I ain't got to do that. I'm always on deck.
I told my grandson a few weeks ago, I was like, he said, yes, I can. I say, no. So I started playing with him like I was going to fight him. But he was like, I don't want to play with you, Nanny, like that. But I wanted to express to him, while you taking one hand, pulling up your pants, you kind of keep doing this here. Somebody going to get a punch in. They going to get a sucker punch in on you because then he swears up and down he did. But also, if I remember, because I'm from old school, I remember when young men was going to jail, to the county jail and to prison, to jail, not prison, jail, that they were young men started using the shoestrings for suicide and all different stuff. So they started taking your shoestrings and your belt. And they were allowing you to walk through the county jail with your pants sagging. That's what I remember. Then all of a sudden it became a trend.
I've heard that also. I've heard a number of things, you know, the sewing up, you know, hanging off, you available. I've heard all the stories, but not a lot of youngsters don't know that, and they don't even want to listen to the point where they would know where it come from. Like, oh man, that's back then. Like, man, but if you knew where you were, you know, look at where you at, you know where you're going.
And it's going from generation to generation.
Yeah, but they just making a fashion trend out of everything. You know, they just make it just look good. I mean, like soul food, scraps. You know, that's we black, we make it look good. That's how we are.
Well, I was saying that, hold on one second, but at that conversation was one of the conversations that said, that don't make sense to me. One of the craziest things that doesn't make sense to me. Okay, we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hello. How you guys doing?
Fine. How are you?
Pretty good. My name is, I'm watching you guys on YouTube, on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
This is Ray Funk from Activate LA. And I tune in from time to time to you guys' network, and I just so happened to be working on a project, and I saw that you guys were live, and I decided to tune into the live. And I want to say it's a great show, man. There's a lot of good stuff you guys are talking to, so I don't even know where to start.
Today we were talking about, we have a young man in the studio with us today is Maurice, and he's a part of the second call, and he's one of the young men that went to prison a couple of times, and he just changed his life, and he wanted to work, and he wanted to be able to take care of himself legit. No side hustles, you know, none of that, taking a chance. So that's what we do. We try to encourage our young men and women that there's a way out.
Yes.
Yeah, nice to meet you, and you know what you're doing. man, with the show. I mean, what you're explaining, it's can you guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you good. Yes.
Okay, yeah, and I heard that you guys are trying to find out, kids and the young generation to help them because it's very sad. It's very sad that they don't have role models. Maybe they're superheroes and maybe they're made up media heroes, but there's not people like you guys both. We don't want the show, and then two, what you guys are trying to do and help out. So there's a lot of it's lacking a lot. The how do I get involved with these young kids?
Exactly. And I thank you so much for calling in. And if you spread the word around, and like I said, each show is going to get better because we have so much to offer. And if do you live in the Los Angeles area?
Yeah, I am. I'm actually in the 310 area. I do actually. We have a show. So maybe if you guys need any help with promoting, I'm on the chat on YouTube. It's Activate LA. And I would love to network with you guys. Maybe we can interview you guys on our show and spread the word. And or if you guys need help, just sharing your show or whatever you guys do, we're open to do it.
Okay, your name is Chad.
No. My name is Ray. That's Ray, and my host name is Ray Funk with a PHUNK. And I left a couple of comments. I'm going to leave my information on the
Okay,
YouTube
please do. And I will look forward to meeting you and talking because, like I say, it takes a village. It's so much work that needs to be done to where we're just a dip in the pond. It's so much work that really needs to be done because I do not want to see a young African-American, Hispanic, or young man just fall through the cracks when a single parent, she's not able to really do or she don't know how. What these young kids are coming up. And if we start trying to get them early, and then we like them coming out of prison. We deal with so many different people. But the whole point is if we just get one or two person to change their life and look and say, you know what they're saying is beneficial. If we can do that, then we feel like our show is very needed, much needed.
Yeah, believe it or not, what you guys are doing, both of you guys, you guys are making a change, and it's much respect to both. I see there's more people watching the stream, so
thank you.
Just keep doing what you guys are doing because maybe people are not calling, maybe people are not commenting, but they're always watching. So I am one of them, so I decided to call because I wanted to say thank you both for what you guys are doing,
Well, thank you so much, Ray, and I look forward to meeting you, and I'll get your information. And you have a great day.
Okay, much love.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, that really encourages me because it lets me know that there's somebody knowing what we do is really much needed.
Yeah.
It's really much needed because my heart really goes out to our young 13, 14-year-old high school young boys. I have a heart for those. I have a heart for the young women, but my heart really goes out to the young men because if they don't get it together and someone get them in the right direction, they may lose their life. And that's a very painful feeling for a parent. And everyone knows that I had one son and two daughters, and I lost my son through murder, which is right today, 13 years later, still unsolved homicide. They probably closed the case and left it. But I say God has to be a revenge. He has to do the revenging for me. I can't do it. But I miss my son. But for a parent to go through that, so we're trying to reach out to parents to get your children at a young age. And if you're a single parent and I have to work, I don't have time to get them to classes, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it, and either you're going to take time with them now, or you're going to do it later. You're going to have to miss work because you're going to be in court.
Yeah,
and that's what we're trying to avoid.
I cost my mom a lot of money with court dates when I was young, and she's still mad at me behind that. She told me I owe her, like, you making money now. Give me all that back.
Give it all to her because she had to be there for you.
Yeah, but she was always there. Until she found out that I was the one doing the wrong because I was always her baby because I didn't boo-boo where I slept at.
Uh-huh.
So she thought I was innocent. You know, I wouldn't want to sag, but I would always make sure, you know.
You was flexing and they knew who you were.
I was decent when I walked in the house after school, even if I was ditching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mama, I'm a good guy, but she didn't know until one day we was in public and my little brother wanted to go somewhere, same place I caught my case at. And I swore when I got home, I'm going to tell my mama everything. I ain't going to hide nothing from her no more, because my mistake could have cost my mama or my little brother their life. Because that's how it happened all the time. Karma don't just hit that individual all the time. It hit you, but it may hit you, you know, emotionally and mentally. It may hit somebody else. You know, your loved one.
Yeah. And we just, like I say, so we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and we have some surprise conversations for you. So tune in and have someone else, call someone and tell them to live stream us. But we are streaming live on Facebook, I believe. So again, our call-in number is 323-293-3375. See you back in a second.
Can't get away. Hold on.
Okay, we're back. Oh, sorry. Hello. We're back. Maurice was showing me some things, but I'm glad to welcome you back to Conversation with Faye Lewis and Second Call. So today we're talking about life skills, Second Call. We have our guest Maurice here with us today. He's part of the Wolfpack. He left work and he came here. And I wanted to ask Maurice, you know, with Second Call being, we talk about our life skill classes. What are some of the, we know that, tell us about LA being rebuilt and the part that Second Call is playing in rebuilding LA.
Rebuilding LA, we do a lot of construction projects. We doing Ram Stadium. We did the LA Football Club. I did that from the ground up. I did
Kaiser.
I did Kaiser Downey. I did the Metro Station out there in Santa Monica. You know, first year printed ground up project. You know, they place us everywhere, starting us from the ground up, where we learn everything.
And what it cost you?
Nothing.
And even for men that's coming in, I've seen you come to a life skill class and some men come like, I have nothing. I don't even have my driver's license. I've seen us sit in a meeting, everybody put 5, 10, and 15 on the table and say, go get your license. Now what you need?
I was just going to bring that up.
Go ahead. You got the flow.
I had met Yo-Yo's agent because I ran into her at the Jazz Festival in Carson a few weeks ago. I talked to her actually yesterday, and I was telling her what we do. So she'd been the second call before also, when it in the beginning, when there was only a few people.
Right.
And I was letting her know how far we done came and how many lives that we have changed. So she got the address and everything. Once again, it's 3500 Normandy Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90007. I'm about to get it mixed up with the house address.
9007.
Yeah, 9007. That's what my pops say.
Okay.
When I had 9,000, I just think of money. No, but we do, man. People come in, we mad. There's one, it was a young cat. We helped him out. You know, got him in. We motivated him, got him to do everything that he needed to do. He came in, I just need to get some money to do this. He only needed like $40. Everybody started coming out their pockets.
I remember.
Yeah, here you go. He ended up with $300 and something, and he offered that back to everybody. Everybody like, man, that's you.
That's right.
We had it. We was able to give back because the second call gave to us. We all a wolf pack. We all part of the wolf pack.
Yes.
You know, and that's what we do.
Yes, and it's every nationality, and this is real talk what we're talking about today. This is things that we want to see a change. There's no reason in the world that you want no young man in L.A. for the next 10 years. If he can stop smoking weed and using drugs, he'll be working guaranteed hooked up with second call for the next 10 years.
And those of you who going to see this station, y'all see what I'm talking about.
And them paychecks ain't small. And we say that because a lot of people, when you come from the world and you're hustling, you may be making $2,000-3,000 a day. Some people make a lot of money per day hustling, but it's not legit. So you're throwing, one of the words they say in the streets, you throwing rocks at the prison. Penitentiary to prison, because you're taking a chance. Either I'm going to make it or I'm not. I'm going to get this money or I'm going to fall.
And that's where the saying comes. You know, you ain't throwing stones at a glass house. You throwing stones at the glass house. For those of you who know what the glass house is.
What's the glass house?
Little holding tank downtown, you know, for the county jail. Basically, it's just letting you see the world for the last time before you go to prison.
Yeah. Whenever, I mean, it's sad because they are not giving our young people, I don't care what excuse me, I do care. People of my color and Hispanics, you know, there's a lot of people, the young people, people of color. People of color, I put it like that. When you are arrested in certain crimes and it's not your first crime, they already cross you out. They start looking at who's your father, who's your mother, you come from a single home. All of these things, the society, the courts want to know about you. And one of the things that they say that if you are a juvenile and you're already getting in trouble in school, you're doomed for prison. That's sad. That's so sad because what they say, life and death is in the power of the tongue. So what you speak out your mouth, it shall be. If you come from a neighborhood where everybody goes to prison, what are you looking forward to? Going to prison. Because you don't know no better.
I had to laugh real quick 'cause when I was young, I actually did.
You thought that was...
I thought I was destined. I thought it was part of life. I didn't think I was
going to
do as much time as I did, but I just felt that I was going to do as much time as I actually did. Half of what my pops actually did, because he was gone, 10 years of my life. I ended up doing the extra, 1 year. Well, matter of fact, we did the same amount of time. He caught a violation. He was gone.
You and who?
Me and my pops. He did 11 years of my life, and I did 11 years of my life also. He did the first 11 years. I did. He was out 11 years. I did the following 11 years.
And that makes me sad. It makes me so sad. I mean, on a serious tip, because I have a brother that's incarcerated. He's been incarcerated for 20 years. He got sentenced on the 3 strike. And he stole a camera for $138 out of Mervin's, and he's been down for like 20-some years. Now his son is in prison, and that hurts my heart. That hurts my heart because he doesn't really know his son. Because while his son was growing up, my brother was in and out of prison. So by the time his son got 18 and 19, he received a long sentence. So the son only had 7 years, but he's had so many problems in prison because he's young. He's trying to be with the business and this and that. So we don't know exactly what date I think he's caught a couple of cases since he's been incarcerated. So all these things bother me. And you know what? One thing why it bothers me, because they call me collect. I write them. Every 3 months, I send my brother a package. That's the part makes me involved. So my heart has to grieve like, Lord, we've been sending this man boxes for 20-some years. But that's what they do in our community.
Yeah, and believe you me, that's what make me appreciate the little things in life. Because a little bit go a long way to anybody that's incarcerated that don't have nothing. Because when I got them packages, man, now I don't even eat top ramen no more.
No, I wouldn't either.
I can't stand the look of them. I might go grab a pack just so when I open that cabinet, I look down like, and I look up at what I got now. The key thing I focused on when I was up in there was food and family, because I miss my grandma cooking.
Yeah, you used to talk about your grandma when we first met you. You used to get upset when somebody say or do something to her, one or the other. But
situations, nobody looking out, and a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm. How's your grandma doing now?
She's all right now.
That's good.
I'm
good.
home, so I know she all right.
She all right. Yeah, when we first met you, I remember that about you. You love your grandma, which some people, some young people don't understand that how important parents are to you. They don't appreciate. They disrespectful to our older people. Even as my age, I'm a grandmother. I'm a great-grandmother. And I love my grandkids. I love my grandsons. And I respect them as adults now. I had a part in raising them. And I hope that I instilled in them some very important points about life. And that's my whole thing. In our community, we teach them how to get a college and how to stay out of prison. Those are important factors in our community. To other people, that's not a big deal. But in our community, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's always something to fall back on. See, the one thing that we tell them at second call, all right, you're going to college. Your parents pay for it. You get a scholarship. You're going to school for so long. 5 years. You got all these degrees. But in the end, once we top out, we making more than you do a year at the top rate that you went to school and paid. Your parents paid so much for.
Can I ask you
within
this?
5 years, I'll be making over $100,000 a year.
Wow.
Well,
I'm talking too much now. But tell me this, Maurice. Okay, once you start, you go into the apprenticeship, right? Tell me, because I asked you that before. Tell me, so someone that's listening will know. If you come to the second call, we're offering you life skill classes, but also they're getting ready to do what's Raina's fiance? What's his name? Jeff.
Jeff. Yeah.
Jeff.
He's doing it's a pre-apprenticeship program with the Flint Ridge Center.
Where's the Flint Ridge Center?
I haven't been to that one because I've been so busy at work because I don't turn down overtime at all.
Right, okay. So that's what Jeff is doing.
That's what Jeff's doing.
Okay, then they get you prepared for boot camp.
They get you prepared for boot camp, so when you go in, you ain't stuck. It's like you already ready. Right.
So they do like a schooling. Because as soon as you come in the second call, you can get involved. It's not like you got to sit there and talk. While you're talking and getting conversation.
Soak up all the information that you hear.
Then they're preparing you to go out. I've even seen them when you go out on the job site. Some people say, I don't have money to buy. Okay, you got your license, you got your Social Security card, your clean test, but now I need work boots. Come out your pocket, second call, help you with that. So you don't have no reason not to say I don't have.
You don't have, man. If you really about it and you really dedicated, and we listen. We know how to listen up in there because we come from all walks of life. We come from prison where you got to, you got to keep your head on a swivel. Most of us, not all of us, because we come from all walks of life.
Right.
Keep your head on a swivel. Certain ones know how to read people. Somebody may have referred you there. Hey, man, what's up with this dude? Because we know people everywhere.
Right. That's right.
Hey, man, what are you over there doing? Why, what's up, man? You right here with me right now. What's going on? Yeah, what are you doing? You blowing? Drinking? What are you doing? He's sitting over there thinking. All right, hit me back in a minute, but just go ask him what he thinking about. Never know who we know.
Right.
Because we know people from everywhere. You may call one person, somebody else calling somebody else.
That's right.
Got parents, cousins, mamas, homies, homegirls, everybody, everywhere.
That's right.
Oh, you ain't about it, so you got to do that yourself. We got to see that you really want it.
That's
Because
right.
you may not have that much faith in yourself. So
Right.
all we going to do is encourage you to come to class and listen to everybody's story because you think you got it bad.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got no help, man. There's people that had way less help than you, but they came here and got that help.
I sat in second call, and sometimes if you just come, what I'm saying, you never know who in the room. It could be a board. It could be someone over a project, a $40 million project. There's so many projects going on in L.A. till you never know who you're sitting in the room with. But one thing also that's important is that after you're sitting in that class, and you sit and listen to people come, you think, oh, I've had it bad. I was a single parent. I went to prison at 18. Because there's a whole bunch of other people may be sitting in there that's never been to prison. Then there's 4, 5, 6 people in there say, well, how you feel today? I just came home from doing 18 years. I just came home doing 30 years. This is real. This is something you be like, when each person get through talking about how much time, there's young men that said they went in at 18 and 17. They just now getting out of prison after 20 and 30 years.
Well, it was halfway around the table. Now about a quarter way around the table. You got about 200 years by the time you get a quarter around the table. And that's a mix of everybody. Not everybody that come to the class and been to prison. All of us come from all walks of life.
That's right. That's right.
You got doctors, lawyers. I remember one judge came in here one time, I believe.
That's
and
Judge Hattie.
Yes.
That she does. We know her, and she's in Superior Court. So if someone come before her and they need a year, instead of sending them to prison, Judge Hattie will send them the second call. Yep. We have probation officers. We have so many people, and they're not there to trap you up. They're there to help you.
And I just got through talking to my former probation officer from when I was younger. Mm-hmm. My former judge, she was in Compton Court. Now she's in Inglewood Court. Mm-hmm. And my former parole officer got me approved. And Marquise Dawson, they got me approved to go talk to Challenge Memorial Youth Center, have a speech up there.
To speak where?
Challenge Memorial Youth Center out there in Lancaster, California, right behind Lancaster State.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go talk to the youngsters, let them know that this ain't nobody that just got a degree and took Psychology 101 that ain't lived in the streets and ain't did what you done did. I'm just letting this somebody who done been in your shoes. If you go look up under that locker, you might see my name up under there. Might still be somebody working there and be like, man, what the hell you doing up here?
So I'm just excited because second call, I can't emphasize how much and how important you are to me, to us. And we are out here to save lives. And we want you to come in. We want to help you. We ask you, mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and family, friends, find somebody that need that extra push and send them down the second call. Somebody that's saying, I want to change, but I don't know how to change. So let them see them sitting themselves in a room full of people just like them and other walks of life also, and let them make a decision. Because what we always say, you can't do better if you don't what? Know better. And you become to live so much dysfunction so long till you think that's normal.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. When you live so dysfunction, every day you think this is normal.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be closed. We're going to be cutting off in a little while, in a few minutes. But I also wanted to ask Maurice about when you first came to second call and you were going out to the different job sites, your first site that you went on, were you hired? What was the process of that?
The first site I went on, once I got in the union as an apprentice, or when I was a material handler? Which one? When I worked for Moral Metals when I first got in?
No, okay, when you first came out of boot camp, you were still going to the classes with Second Call. What was your process, you going on your first job site? Because on boot camp, you're actually on a site, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
No. Boot camp, you're not on a job site. Boot camp, you're going through the schooling, the book, learning like the basics.
Do they pay you for that?
No.
Okay, and how long is boot camp?
Boot camp is 2 weeks.
Wow, you can go 2 weeks without a pay, because after that, what happens? After that, what is the procedure?
Yeah. You only got to miss 1 week of pay, but you ain't going to never miss a week of pay, because that week that you work, you're going to get paid that following week. So if you get laid off that next week that you get, you ain't got your check, it's going to come. So as long as you work, whatever you work 8, you get paid 8.
So
work 40, that's minimum that we do. Work 40, you're going to get paid.
So what is their starting pay for construction? Because you're an electrician.
Yes.
Okay. So what is the start off pay for electrician coming from boot camp through Second Call and getting in the union? What is their start off pay?
Man, not knowing nothing. And you ain't got to work on nothing hot and worry about getting shocked either. And I'm going to put it like this. I'm just going to sum it up. The nearest round off, I'm going to say $19 an hour, not knowing nothing.
Not knowing nothing. You're starting at 19. So how fast? Yeah.
After 90 days, full benefits.
Full benefits. You can get new glasses. And just for you or for your family?
Man, for your family. You got kids, you ain't got to worry about.
You better tell somebody about Second Call. We not playing up in here. We trying to get these men to be able to take care of their families. Do what God called a man to do. And that makes him feel good when he say, I can help my wife keep her car running to get our kids to school while I work. And there's some family members that's raising nieces and nephews, and they're able to take care of them. It's stress. We're going to always have obstacles coming at us. But the basic thing we're trying to get our people to understand, you got to get the basics. How to take care of yourself, how to keep a roof over your head, how to provide transportation, keep the gas and lights on.
And that's what Second Call is, because I've had a lot of obstacles come my way, and not sit back and think about it. That's why no matter where I go, I can have some Stacy's and slacks on, but I got to have a Union and Second Call shirt on with me, because I'm representing us wherever we going.
That's right.
Like, you know what? No problem, man. Go ahead and cut in front of me, man. Got my Union sticker on the back of my car. You cut me off. Hey, you in a rush. You might be a little late, man. Get to where you need to go.
That's right.
I'm cool, man. I like to cruise now.
Taking it slow, huh?
Yeah, I'm taking it slow.
Yes. Well, Maurice, we're so glad that you came on today and gave us some very important information. And I'm hoping that this show will encourage you, or you get encouraged enough to encourage someone else. So we'll see you next Wednesday. We're here every Wednesday from 4 to 5.
And once again, if you ain't get it, 3500 Normandy Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90007. Abundant Life Christian Church. Second Call. Downstairs.
Thank you, Maurice. You have a good weekend. See you next week. Tell somebody. Love you.
All right, y'all.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your health care. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.